What's up, you guys? Happy Labor Day. So I wanted to pop on and say hi. I just showed up a half an hour early for a meeting. So an online meeting, so here I am. But anyway, so I did a post yesterday about me enjoying ice cream with my girls. Hi, Carrie. And I got some really nice responses like, oh, we love you, eat it anyway. Like, I love my family, Brandon's family. A lot of the responses came from. So what I wanted to talk about today was that, like, the point of that post wasn't that I wanted to enjoy ice cream, right? Like, yes, like, it's good to enjoy ice cream. But the point of that post was that I wasn't enjoying my life because of my need to control my food, to, freak out about my body, to, like, be in this place, right? So a lot of you guys know my story. Short and quick if you don't know it. I was, anorexic, bulimic, disordered eating for many, many, many years. Spent a lot of years feeling like I was healed. And then a couple years ago, it kind of reared its head again, and I really realized that I wasn't okay. And so I joined a program called Hunger for Happiness, and everything shifted. So what I want to talk to you guys about is control, right? I've talked to so many of you. There's so many high-achieving perfectionists out there, and we all have this need for control, right? Like, I want to control my life. I want to control my finances. I want to control, I just want to control everything. And what we come to find out, you guys, is that that need for control is actually a negative way to meet our need for certainty. Okay, so there's 6 human needs: certainty, uncertainty, loving connection, growth, significance, and I knew I was going to do this right if I don't write them down. Significance and contribution, right? Okay, so those are the 6 human needs. So, I always heard when I had my eating disorder that people were like, oh, it's a need for control. And I was like, but how is that possible? Because I wasn't controlling it. It was controlling me, and it was controlling everything in my life, and it was costing me a ton of stuff. And so when I started my program, I remember my mentor saying, you got to let go your need of control. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, heck no. Like, I control everything. I check all of the things, right? Like, I'm super OCD about stuff. And I was like, I need that control, right? I need that sense of control. Well, what I started to find out was that control is just actually negatively meeting our need for certainty. Okay. So our need for certainty, we all have it. You have to have certainty in your life, right? No matter what it's coming from, you have to have certainty, right? Because core to our essence, we need to feel safe. Okay, and so control somehow makes us feel safe, right? And so what I had to learn was that by counting my macros, like super strict, by really paying attention to what I was eating, by whatever, I felt like I could control my happiness, I could control whatever in my life, right? And so, but what it really came down to was that I wasn't controlling anything, right? And I had this unrealistic body image, and I had this this weird thing of like, oh, if I eat, I'll gain weight, right? And I never had a weight problem, so that wasn't my story. So it was all more about like feeling like I needed to have control, which was my need for certainty. And so when I stopped counting macros, when I started letting this stuff go, I felt very untangled and very untethered, because I was like, what do I do, right? And I had also realized that when things in my life got stressful, business, money, etc., like, I would turn to stressing about my food and controlling my food, because that provided my need for certainty, right? And so I've told this story before, but like, our building got sold, we didn't know what was going to happen with our business. And so instead of stressing about money, because I wasn't very good at that, because I just wanted to avoid it, right? That was my avoidance protector. I was like, well, I can stress about my food. And if I can count my macros and I can hit all this stuff, I have this need for certainty, right? And so I see this in so many people that are looking for control. So whether your issue is you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to build a business, you're whatever, like, you got to look at your life and be like, why am I doing these things, and what need is it actually trying to meet? Okay, so your need for certainty is super important in your life. If you don't feel certain, you will create ways, either positive or negative, that you can create that certainty, right? And so the biggest thing about creating your need for certainty is, how can you do it in a positive way, right? Control turns out to be a negative way of creating certainty. A lot of us try to control our surroundings. We try to control other people. We try to do all of that because we're like, well, I just have control, then everything's going to be fine, right? And so for me, and I've worked with so many clients that are like, oh my gosh, I thought that me controlling and helping and scheduling and doing all that kind of stuff was actually really helping myself and the people in my life. But what they found out is that that need for control was actually not controlling anything. And then what you start to realize too is that you're like, you can't control anything. As much as you want to, you can't control things. And so the biggest thing I want you guys to understand is that we get to shift from control, which is fear. So if you watched my videos a couple of weeks ago when we talked about fear, control is fear, right? If I control everything, then I can A, B, and Z, right? And that doesn't work. But what you get to lean into is that, well, what I do get to do is I get to create my life, right? I get to create my intentions. I get to create my focus. I get to create the things that I put my attention to. And when I do that, then I can create the body, the life, the business that I want, right? So here's the thing. You can control nothing. That's fear, right? You can create everything. And when you start to understand that as you raise your energy and you get in this vibration of creation, that things will actually get attracted to you, right? Versus when you're in fear, life will push away from you, right? And so like, if have you ever worried about something that maybe wasn't really rational and then it happened? Well, you did that, right? Like that worry actually made it come true. So what if you start to write the story the other way? Instead of being like, well, what if this happens? Well, rewrite it to the positive. Like, well, what if I do get that job? Well, what if I do meet the man of my dreams? What if I? All of those things will go that way because you raise your vibration, okay? You start to raise your energy, your vibe, right? Like Britt and I were talking about this the other day that some people don't, when I say vibration, I sound really woo-woo. And so when you guys think about energy, I want to think you've met that person in your life. You're like, gosh, they just have this really good vibe, right? You're like, I just want to be around them. I want to be in their presence, right? Well, that's what starts to happen when you let go of control and you step into creation. You're like, oh, everything opens up and it starts to get easy and it feels simple, right? And it's like, oh, this is so easy because I'm now shifting into where I want to go instead of where I don't want to go, right? We've all heard this, right? Like when you're skiing, if you're a Colorado person, if you're a snow person, don't look at the tree because where are you going to go? To the tree. If you look to the powder that you want to go to, you're going to go to the powder, right? Like if right now, if I said, okay, I want you to look around your room. Everybody do this with me, right? Unless you're driving. Like I want you to look around and I want you to pick out everything that's red. Okay, do that. Look around. Pick out everything that's red. Okay? Now I'm going to close your eyes and think about everything that you see that's brown. Crazy, huh? You don't see anything brown because your focus was just on red. So if you shift your attention from focusing on the negative and we actually shift our attention to focusing on the positive, everything can change. And so what I want you guys to understand is that just by shifting our focus, understanding our energy, understanding what's actually happening inside of us, and knowing that an external thing is never going to create happiness, right? You're never going to have control. You can't control those things. So once you let go of that and you start to create a different way to find certainty, then your life will start to shift. Okay, so we keep talking about our shift program. We're going to do a 5-day. We're really going to dive into this stuff with you guys. So if you want it, we're going to do a private Facebook group. So DM me if you want to be in on that. It starts on September 16th. So if you want in on that 5-day and really want to see this stuff, let me know. But the whole idea with shift, you guys, is that, you know, we've worked with people for 20 years and everyone thinks they've got to go all in, right? Like when life is not going how you want, you're like, I got to go all in. I got to create more rules. I got to make this hard. And then we fail, right? Because it doesn't work. But what we've seen over the last couple of years, guys, is we just start to shift, right? We shift our focus, we shift our behaviors, we shift our understanding, we shift our feelings. All of that can actually go and make it really, really, really easy, right? It doesn't have to be hard and it doesn't have to be crazy. We don't need more rules, okay? What we actually need is to shift our attention, our focus, understand how we can create our 6 human needs in positive ways, how we can shift our nutrition, shift our movement, shift how we feel, shift where we focus. We can do all of that and all of a sudden life makes these crazy, amazing turns, okay? And that's what we want for you guys. So, on the side of certainty and control, if you feel like you need to control things, then what you need to do is you need to create a routine or a ritual for yourself. For me, it was my morning routine, right? It was getting up. It was getting up every morning and either doing yoga, it was meditating, it was doing breath work. I'm doing a lot more breath work stuff with you guys, but it was really giving myself time to set my intentions for the day, to find calm and peace and clarity and create that in my life because I didn't have it. So I was always in overwhelm, right? Which is why I felt like I needed to control something because I didn't feel like I had control of ever anything. So right now, if you feel like you're in overwhelm, if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like life is happening to you and you are reacting, I would say the best thing you can do is get up tomorrow morning, take 5 minutes, lay in your bed, take some big breaths, you know, in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can change your state instantly just by breathing. Find a meditation. Find something that just, there's a great morning one that just says, good morning, good morning, good morning. But it's silly that will change. It's not silly, but it will change your whole outlook of the day, okay? So if you want to have more patience with your kids, if you want to get unstuck, if you want to feel like you have some calm and you want to be able to actually release control, that is my favorite way of doing it, is just create certainty in your life in a super, super positive way, okay? So I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about control and certainty over the next few days. Again, if you guys want in on the 5-day, it's totally free. It'll be in a Facebook group. I'll go live every day for 30 minutes, my husband and I both, because we're going to do this program together. And really give you guys some core things and actions you can take so that you can start to shift your life immediately. Okay, so I love you guys. I hope you're having an awesome Labor Day, and I'll chat with you soon.